grab yourself a cup of tea, light a candle, sit back and relax. It's time for me to share my visual journal with you. Hello, welcome to my studio. I'm Renee Dowling from Reflections Art Studio and Community Classroom, and my studio is in Cypress County, Alberta, just outside of Medicine Hat. And I would like to do a visual journal flip through, and this is my second signature. You can find my first signature in the description box down below. And just wanted to do a little intro. This is the first visual journal that I made with sewing and fabric, and it's got really dirty as I've been working through this journal. And so I'm not sure if a cloth journal is the best thing for mixed media and for one that will be carried from one place to the next to fill. But I do love the texture of it and how it feels and how it looks. When I'm finished my third signature, I'm going to get some soap and water and clean up some spots and try this Tide to Go stick. It's supposed to be a stain remover, so we'll find out if it really does do that. And so let's get to it. So like I said, this is my second signature, and this is how thick my journal is right now, and I still have one more signature to go. This is what it looks like on the back and on the spine. I used a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and used some eyelets that I made with my crocodile, and I also included a little bit of a doily here. Just thought you might be interested. So my second signature starts here, and I started it in November of 2021, and it was finished January 13th, 2022. And it's just watercolor paper, and it started off as a demonstration page with some kids that I was teaching at a school. And I've since modified it, and I'm not that excited about the front cover of this signature, but decided, let's just call it done and get to the rest of my journal. So I'm calling myself an eclectic artist in that I don't have one particular style that I stick to. I kind of go with how I'm feeling or the time of year, and that will reflect what's in my journal. And so on here, it started off with music background and watercolor paper. This journal is made of all different kinds of paper. And so that has caused some challenges or some really good creative thinking as to how I'm going to do my journaling on here. So it started off with practicing some spruce trees, pine trees, and I'll put it closer. In the background here, I've used some modeling paste and some stencils, and I decided to use the alphabet to add some texture, if you can see here. So that's a new thing that I tried on this page. And I usually use watercolor paint. And here I just use a Posca white pen, Signal pen. It was kind of challenging to work over top of the modeling paste, but I'm kind of happy with the results. And as you can tell, I've covered up different things that I printed off and then decided that this was going to be about survival. I have some sewing machine stitching around that I did before I put the journal signature in. Some of the pages I decided I didn't want to deal with, so I ended up gluing them together. So in here, I was just feeling kind of jazzy and was listening to some jazz music. I always like to incorporate some hidden numbers into my work. And I don't know if you recognize the Always, but it's from a Tim Hortons bag. And just kind of having fun with cutting out pieces out of book pages and then trying to decide where it was going to go, just having a lot of fun. And then just kind of going with the jazzy theme, again, using mixed media or old book pages to cut out designs and collage. And then here's the rest of the bag, toujours fresh each day. And just did a little journaling on this little doily. And then here, this was just going with a whole bunch of layers, and again, not knowing where it was going when I started, and then just kind of asking questions. Where, when, what, soon, how many, and as you know, it's all mysterious about how things are unfolding with COVID, and so that's what this page was just kind of asking, what's next, and where we're going to go. And my goal is to always work on faces. And the background for this one is a paper bag, and I really love the texture of the paper bag and how it accepts the paint. And so I'm thinking I'm going to maybe make a whole journal out of paper bags and give that a try. And Christmas time was coming, and so I was listening to Christmas songs and just kind of putting quotes from a song I like, "Give us a lamp to light the way, so beautiful Star of Bethlehem," and just kind of practicing some different plants. And then same thing on this one. This time I've incorporated a photograph of myself, and just putting one of my favorite Christmas songs is "Oh Beautiful Star," and then just kind of picking lyrics out, "May peace be with you." This one was kind of fun because I started it with a client, and every couple of minutes we would pull a prompt, and so whatever it said we had to do. So this part here was draw a contour drawing of something. So there was an old nest in here with crazy feathers all over the place, so this was incorporated into there. And this one does have some acrylic paint, but normally what I don't use, so that's how that turned out. And then using more photographs of myself. I hardly ever do that, but I decided to. And so this one is using windows. And I always get those ideas from Eric Scott from Journal of Otter Junkies, and kind of gives me lots of great ideas. I encourage you to check it out. And just feeling like not doing a bunch of layers, but just practicing some drawings. So my soul, turn the page. So I like this. What is your soul? And then just putting keywords, nostalgic, lively, sentimental, with harmony. Then you open it up. Then you can see the photos from the previous page. And then going back to the light of the song that I like. And then I love this part. What is your soul? And again, this background is paper bag as well. My soul is the color of music. And then when the music is slow, when the music is nostalgic, when the music is lively, when the music is sentimental, when it is filled with harmony, my soul weeps, remembers, dances, celebrates, rejoices. And then I just drew a candle, just showing that your light will be reflected with your kindness that you show to others. So before, what is your soul? So showing those, and then it's part of a sentence. And then this is continuing on. Oh, beautiful star, shine upon us. My soul is always the color of music. Without music, I don't know where I'd be. Same thing with art. And so again, this idea of cutting out a portrait I got from Eric Scott. And once you get the initial design, then you can use it as a stencil. So when you flip it open, I said, my soul is sometimes the color of green. And then I explained why. And then sometimes my soul is the color of yellow. And then I explained that. Sometimes my soul is blue, and then explained why it might be blue. And then again, continuing some lyrics from the song I like, Shine On. And then here I just repeated the pattern and just kind of turning into a real rainbow. And then continuing with the face. Again, this was part of the face, but then it ended up looking like a rabbit, and I like rabbits a lot, so just kind of having fun. My soul is many colors. Then you flip this open, and then sometimes my soul is a rainbow, and explaining why that is. And then using that same portrait, here's one image going that way and another image going that way. Then you open it up and then there's some more information. Sometimes my soul is magenta, and then sometimes my soul is white. So I really love this, how the pages are integrated and work with each other, and they look great. However you want to fold them, it could be like that. Something I'll definitely work on doing again. And then this happened to be something I did in the summertime I forget, it was a class that I took and I can't remember the author's name or the artist's name. But it's sort of a departure of everything, and it's kind of plunked in the middle, but I love it, the simplicity of it, and using fabric. Did you know that you could rubber stamp on fabric? I did not know until then. And then did a little bit of some collaging. And then I always like to include some journaling on each page. And again, I wasn't feeling like doing a lot of mixed media, so just simple. Some ideas are like, just look around your house. So this was at Christmas time and have some different decorations. And so I decided to try and draw and paint one. And then at first I was just going to leave it. And then I decided, I needed to add some journaling about some Christmas memories. And then using the face idea from the previous pages, but this time I did them as journaling cards. And I just punched a hole and used an eyelet, and then did some journaling on the front and the back. I was kind of feeling nostalgic this year and not wanting to do a lot of mixed media and do more writing. And this is just a lot of people that I like to listen to at Christmas time. And then this was some decorations that I made for some snowflakes. And then I did some extra ones and did little scenes to include in here. And then this band here is just from like a Starbucks cup that the holder to protect your hands. And again, just working on faces. And then on here, I decided to just keep it really simple again. But then it started getting more complicated, and I started doing some slow stitching, some French knots, add some texture that way. And then this was inspired by a Santa Claus that we have in the house I decided Santa Claus does not always have to be red. And so I decided to draw, and it was challenging for me to get him to look masculine. He was looking quite feminine, so there was lots of layers involved. And then did this little cabin, and it was kind of fun doing little miniature. You can kind of see it's all warm and cozy in the cabin. Just did some like really freestyle deer. We have lots of deer around here all year long, and so I thought I should include that. And I was going to put Peace on Earth here because I felt really peaceful, and then decided let's just keep it simple with the picture. And this page here was done with a client that was here with me. And so our challenge was I gave each of us the same supplies, and we were going to see what we could do with it. So I gave a photocopy of some paper dolls that I found in an antique store, some fabric, a pin, some string, button, needle and thread, a ticket, a stamp, and some music pages that had some old illustrations on, and an old bingo card. And this was a playing card from a Family Feud game that my school was going to throw out, and I saved it from the trash. And this is Tim Holt's film strip. And then I did some stitching along the edge. And there's also some cheesecloth and again some corrugated cardboard from Starbucks cup. And the fun part about this is that it's interactive. So the one angel is saying, come on, the little girl, and the angel say, come now. And it goes back and forth. So that's kind of something I've never done before. And it was totally inspired by my client. She had sort of like a kite idea of the string. And I thought, I like the idea. And then again, did a little bit of journaling here. And then having a little pocket on the side, and just had a greeting card that my granddaughter and my son's family sent this is actually from a greeting card from my husband from Christmas time. Just added a little piece of cloth for a tab. And then on the back, did some journaling and then included some of the gift tags. And again, that Canada stamp. So tuck that in. And then at Christmas time, we always like to do a trip around Medicine Hat and Cypress County looking at Christmas lights. And so this was a scene from one of the places in Medicine Hat by the hospital. And you can get out and walk through. And I'm not really a fan of the blow-up Christmas ornaments, but seeing it here with all the lights and how it was careful and all the paths and everything, it was very interesting. It was the first time we ever got out and walked through. So, and this was, again, one of the little ornaments that I made, and I decided I glued this down first and then decided to do the painting. So it kind of looks like these people are about to walk through. And then here's a tag from Santa Claus for Christmas, and just saying that I was trying to do some new things. And this was at Christmas time and after Christmas. And again, I saved a gift tag, and I like to look at people's writing for my family. And this was a little compliment card that I got from my client, and she made this. And then on the back, she said, "Thank you for the perfect atmosphere to learn and create." And then this is, my mom always has the crackers, the Christmas crackers, and everybody went around and read the little questions. And so then on the back, I decided to do some journaling, my favorite Christmas album, books that I read in December, favorite Christmas short stories that I like to read, favorite Christmas treats, Christmas movies watched this year. And that's just a small list. The actual list was very long. Movies seen in the theater, and then on the back, another tag from my sister. And just kind of tuck it in here. And we always have Chinese food on Christmas Eve. So this was a fortune cookie slip. That special someone loves to see the light in your eyes. So I kind of loved how it has light, and it goes back to the previous pages about light. And then I used my really old typewriter. It activated the ribbon with a little bit of water, and it actually worked. And it took me forever to type out this little message. But I love this quote. "I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach." And that's by Dickens. The stars made out of an envelope, a security envelope from our bank, some washi tape and some ribbon. Again, it's not typically what I do with all these pockets and stuff, but I always like to try new things. And then here's another one, another tag. And I decided to put a little eyelet so that it could swing, and did little sewing machine stitches. And I just cut a piece out of a letter that my cousin sent to include her writing in my journal, and then wrote some more favorite traditional Christmas songs that I love. Did a little bit of watercolor painting on some book music pages. And then on this side, I decided I just felt like doing a lot of journaling. But this is my granddaughter. She was here in the summer, and she wanted to glue her art into my journal. So this is Pikachu. I thought, well, what am I going to do with it? And then she also wanted to make a pocket. So she had just kind of scribbled on here. So then I decided to add some water and spread it out. And then others will be impressed with your artistic side. And then did lots of journaling on here. And she's 3, and there's her writing. So I thought it was so cute. And that's pretty good for a 3-year-old. And then here's another, she glued this in as well. And I love her writing there. And then I just add on this paper doll. And then again, did some more journaling around the outside, just kind of keeping it really simple. And then here is just a mixed media page with lots of layers. There's some burlaps and corrugated cardboard, book pages, some sample papers that I was trying out some new paint on right here and here. Did some just, jotting down notes and decided, oh, why not put it in here. And since one granddaughter was on my mind, I thought the other one was also should be included in my journal at Christmas time. And so I drew a little picture. And when my granddaughter came here when she was wee little, she said, "Canada sure is cold," because she lives in California. Again, this is from packaging. So I love this thick paper. So I'm definitely going to use it again. Some paper from gift wrap from a client. So you don't have to go out and buy a lot of expensive things. Just look around your house and see what you have and include it in here. And then I felt like I love birds, and I have birds around my place all year. I have like 75 sparrows that have been hanging around. So this was a very fancy sparrow. And practicing with just some different mark making tools or some paint, lots of journaling. And this was about how do birds, I know they have lots of adaptations, but how do they survive? We take care of our horses with blankets, and our dogs have heated dog house, and the cats have a lamp in the barn, but birds just have their adaptations. And then there's this doily here, and I'm not sure if I like doilies in here as a page, so I just did a little journaling. And then here I was just playing and giving myself the freedom to play, dropping some ink, using a branch. I have lots of these little reels on YouTube, but also on Instagram. So using a branch to make all these lines. Using a little chess piece to do the dots. Dropping ink from a medicine dropper. Just having lots of fun splattering. And here I was getting close to the end of the signature and not wanting to do too much, so I just gessoed over the book page or the music pages. Did some mark making, just using charcoal and water and a little bit of gesso. Just doing some circles and then write down some of my new favorite things. Most of these are television shows, but burning candles, red and gold, are some of my new things. And some new socks that I got for Christmas. And then here's another page that my granddaughter glued into my journal, and it was really rainbow. So I thought, it kind of looked like Northern Lights. So I added some water because she used the Neo Color 2 crayon. So I added watercolor and made it sort of look like Northern Lights. Decided to draw some bunnies. That's her, and then that's me. And then here's an actual drawing of her. Then when I'm with you, magic happens. And then here's another ornament that I made. Then just did lots of journaling around the outside. Again, here's a card that her family sent to me. So there's her writing. You can tell she was in a rush. And then on the back, I did some journaling. This paper actually had these holes. It's leisure paper. And so I thought, it's kind of neat how it shows the next layer through. And then this is the last page. And again, this was a demo page, same as the front of this signature. And I decided to modify it. And I bought this stamp collection from a lady in Medicine Hat. And it was like a shoebox. It's like, oh yeah, sweet, for $10. I open up the shoebox and there's mostly 5 designs in the whole shoebox. And this one was one of the designs in Canada Legislative Building. And so what am I going to do with all these stamps? So I decided to cut them out and make them into a flower. I'm going to be working with these stamps for 100 years. And then I'm kind of slumped over a little bit. It's like, this was me when I saw all the stamps that were the same. And then just put, believe in the magic of Christmas. I have that on a couple of ornaments. And this is the next page of my next signature, and I haven't started it yet. So I will share that one with you when I'm finished. So I hope you enjoyed. And just remember that you don't have to go out and buy expensive things. You can just use things around your house. Oh, and for this tab, I actually used the stamps that this card came in. So thank you for coming into my studio, and I hope you have a great day. Try out some new things. Remember, you don't have to always stick to one style. Just kind of go with how you're feeling at the time. Try some new things like flaps, windows, use some of your photos.